Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhikamastu ma Vetvishavahay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. So as we are covering the text Tattva Bodha, we will chant the invocation, the Mangalacharanam from the Tattva Bodha text. If one of you can go off mute and repeat after me. Maybe Pavan?
Yeah, sure.
Vasudevendra Yogindram
Vasudevendra Yogindram
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum
Mukshunam Hitarthaya
Mumukshunam Hitardhaya
Tattva Bodho Bhidhiyate.
Tattva Bodho Vidiyate.
Thank you. So what we understood from this text is that we are going to cover the Tattva Viveka, and where it is said Atma alone is Satyam and everything else is Mithya. Then the question came, okay, if everything else is Mithya, Atma alone is truth, how do you define Atma? Then it is said it is different from three Shariras, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana. It is other than Pancha Kosha-s, and it is the witness of three avasthas, Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti, and its essential nature is Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Now, when that is said, okay, so let's understand what is Sthula, Sukshma, Karna, Sharira. We have covered all of that. And then we came to the Avastha Traya, three avasthas. We started that with the Jagrat Avastha. How did we define Jagrat Avastha? Is that Shrotrati Jnanendriya Shabdad Vishayascha Jnayate iti sa Jagrat Avastha. That means that when all our organs of action, organs of perception, our jnanendriyas are active and they are able to cognize things, then we call it as waking state. Okay. And then there's also something called like a Sthula Sharira Abhimani Atma Vishwa Ityuchate. So when someone is identified with his waking state, it is called Vishwa. This part we will come to, we will cover a little bit later. And then we saw what is Swapna Avastha, what is dream state. They said, Jagrat Avasthayam, when during the waking state, Yad Drishtam, Yad Shrutam, okay, whatever you have heard, whatever you have seen, that means that whatever you have experienced, okay, all the experiences, okay, Tat janita vasanaya, okay, nidra samaye yah prapancha pratiyate sa swapna avastha. So what happened is that, like, whatever I have experienced during my waking state, they have created certain vasanas in me, and those vasanas, during when I'm asleep, they started expressing. Okay, they started projecting their own world. Pratiyate means projection. Prapanchaha. So that means that they have started projecting their own world, that is Swapna Avastha. Okay. So now these projections or these vasanas might have been gained by me either today, 10 days ago, or 10 lives ago. Because what happens is the Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body, carries these vasanas across several lives. Okay? So, now the Sukshma Sharira Atmani, the one who identifies with the Sukshma Sharira as a dream state, okay, such a state, okay, such a witness is called Taijasa. This is an interesting name, Taijasa. So Taijasa comes from the word Tejas. Tejas means fire. So what happened is that fire means brightness, also illumination. So it is lit up. So what happened is the vasanas themselves are inert. However, with the energy of the mind, okay, in the light of mind, they have got their own um, ability to project themselves, and they started experiencing them. So normally during waking time, what happened? If I am looking at a, let us say, a pen like this, okay? If I'm looking at a pen like this, I am the perceiver. This is perceived, and me looking at this pen is the perception. So there are three different things. Perceiver is different from perceived, and perception is the link between perceiver and object and subject. But in a dream, whatever I have seen, okay, both the perceiver and perceived are one and the same. Like, say, for example, Puja Guruji once he gives a very beautiful example. He tells that he was a little bit what call like that. He was having a little bit difficulty during his school days with the subjects, and he studied so much for this social studies test. Okay, he's weak on all subjects. Okay, he was, according to him, at that point. So, and then he went to write the exam, and it was a science exam, and obviously he failed. And then he woke up, and he was saying that even in my dream, I set up the question paper, I answered the questions, and I could not pass. Okay. But who set up the question paper? Him. Okay. Who wrote the answer? Him. Who failed him? Him. Right. So so what happened is that in this particular example, this humorous example that Puja Guruji gives, both the perceiver, perceived, and perception, all of them are created by the same mind, because when you woke up, nothing is there. So even the daydreams also follow the similar process of the mind projection. So that means that, like, let's say if I close my eyes and I start daydreaming, okay, I can even keep my eyes open and still do the daydreaming. It is the same mind projection of mind itself. There is one major difference between the actual dream versus daydream. In my dream, Swapna Avastha, whatever I am experiencing, if I did a good thing, I don't gain a punya. If I do a bad thing, I don't gain papa. Okay, so there is no merits or demerits in my actual dream. But in my daydream, whatever sins I commit, I gain papa. Whatever good things I commit, I gain punya. So what is it telling is that we should not be wishing for bad things even in our mind. Okay, so that is the thing. Again, the whole purpose of this description of these avasthas, these states, different states, is to explain that I am different from these three avasthas. Okay, I am different from my waking state, I am different from my dream state, I am different from my deep sleep state, Sushupti avastha. So let us get into the deep sleep state. I mean, we'll study. Okay, so don't go to deep sleep state right now on me. Okay, so can one of you go off mute and repeat after me for the Sushupti avastha definition?
Okay, I will do it.
Ataha
Ataha
Sushupti avastha
Sushupti Avastha
ka.
Ka.
So then the question is that in that case, ataha now, okay, now, what is this Sushupti avastha? That is the question. So then the answer was aham
Aham
kimapi
Kimapi
na janami.
Na Janami.
Sukhena maya
Sukhena Maya
nidranubhuyata
Nidranubhuyata
iti
Iti
Sushupti avastha.
Sushupti Avastha.
Karana
Karana
sharirabhimani
Sharirabhimani. Is it
atma
Sharirabhi?
sharirabhimani. Sharira plus abhimani, sharirabhimani.
Sharirabhimani
Atma
Atma
prajna
Prajna
ityuchyate.
Ityuchate.
So now the definition of Sushupti avastha. So now, okay, so here, what is this Sushupti avastha? So he said, okay, aham kimapi na janami is one portion. Sukhena maya, okay, sukhena is one, okay. Nidranubhuyat, okay, this is the third one, okay. So aham kimapi na janami, sukhena nidranubhuyat. Okay, so these are the three aspects that are defined as part of Sushupti avastha. Sushupti means deep sleep, okay. So what is this? First of all, aham kimapi na janami. Aham means I, na janami, don't know. Kimapi, nothing. I meaning basically it is saying I don't know anything. Aham kimapi na janami means I don't know anything. So that means that no experience of either waking or no experience of dreaming, no experience of anything. That is what. Now, sukhena means happiness. Happiness, peace here means lack of any sorrow. Okay, there's no sorrow in this state. Maya, by me, okay. Nidranubhuyata, okay. Nidranubhuyata means experience of sleep. So, these are the three aspects. Knowing nothing, happiness, and experiencing of sleep are the three aspects of this deep sleep. Now, even though these three are listed differently, they are all experienced at the same time. So this is called as a compound experience. Okay. What is a compound experience? For example, if I take a simple statement like, I have seen a big, blue, fragrant lotus. So it doesn't mean that I have seen a big lotus, I have seen a blue lotus, I have seen a fragrant lotus. No, it is the same lotus which is both big, blue, and fragrant. All of these three together at the same time. They're different experiences, but they're all packaged in a single compound experience. In the same manner, in this deep sleep, even though we have called as three different aspects, not knowing anything, happiness, experience of sleep, even though we listed three, all of them are one and the same compound experience. Okay. So, Sushupti we said, right? Su means good. Supti means sleep, good sleep. Okay. So, why is it good sleep? I mean, the other state is when we are dreaming, it is not like a good sleep. I mean, it's not necessarily bad sleep, but like it is not 100% sleep. Okay. Now, see, one of the interesting thing is that at the time of deep sleep, I don't know anything. But I cannot say that I am in deep sleep. Now, but how can, when can I say I had a good sleep? Is after I wake up. Now, for me to say something, I did it, means I should have experienced it. Without experiencing something, I cannot recall. Okay. For example, did I eat breakfast? Yes, I ate my breakfast. How can I say that I ate my breakfast? Because I remembered that me eating breakfast. So that means what happened? There is a memory of it as associated. Okay. So what happened is that even when I was asleep, a memory has been created, a vasana has been created, because of which I have the memory. So whereas this experience, like I was not there, as in like I don't have a direct experience of actual sleep, it was still experienced in my deep sleep state. Okay, this is anubhava. Anubhava means experience, can be experienced. So now what is it saying is that this experience, we can experience something even in deep sleep, even when we are not experiencing. Okay, so that is kind of like a how you call twisted logic. Okay, how can I experience when I don't experience anything? So like there is this statement in modern day science, right? As in like modern day science, or actually maybe philosophy, is that is a question like a if a tree fell down in the forest and nobody heard it, did it make any sound? Okay, you probably all of you, if not all, at least many of you must have heard this question. Okay, if a tree fell down in the forest and nobody heard it, did it make a sound? So now, why is this question important is that what is this nature of sound and what is the nature of experience? Now, if you say sound is there only as an experience, and if I did not experience, then there is no sound, right? And if I did not perceive, then it probably is not there, because we say that, okay, so there's a pin drop silence, but whereas our level of understanding is like, okay, I think there is a band of decibel levels, like maybe like 10, I don't know, 10, let's just say for say argument's sake, 10 to 100, that's what we can hear. Anything over 100, we can't hear. Anything below 10, we can't hear. But dogs or some other animals can hear something below 10. But for us, it is silence. Okay. What is silence for us is not silence for someone else. Similarly, something like, astronomical sound that are made uh, at a much higher decibels, we can't hear. Now, in all of this, what happened is that is a sound a physical phenomenon, irrespective of an experiencer? It is a vibration. That is how we define, or we define sound as subject to perception. So that was a question of that thing. So here also, in the deep sleep also, is there an experiencer? Is there an experience without experiencer or not? Okay. So the visible experiencer is absent in the deep sleep, meaning my mind is absent, which is saying that, okay, I'm experiencing deep sleep. Yes, I'm experiencing deep sleep. That cannot be said by mind. It is absent, but the experience has occurred. If the experience has occurred, what happened is that that experience, who is keeping track of that experience? Okay. So then the answer is that the Karana Sharira you all know Karna Sharira by now, causal body. That is actually recording the experience. And because it is recording the experience, when the mind wakes up, it passes on this information that, hey, you had good sleep. How is this handoff is happening? Okay. When we go to deep sleep, we say, okay, we say that we are, what happened to us? We forget our body identity. We don't remember who we are, right? So whether I'm a man or a woman, I don't know where I'm sleeping, where am I going, whether I'm sitting in a train and sleeping, or whether I'm sitting in a massage chair and sleeping, or whether I'm lying down on bed and sleeping, doesn't matter, right? So once you sleep, the whole body identity is gone. So I forgot who I am, what I do, what I studied, what is my job, nothing, everything is forgotten. So where did all that information go? All that information, which is typically in Sukshma Sharira, which is in our Chitta, okay? That Chitta aspect, all of them has merged back into Karna Sharira in an undistinguishable form, okay? And then when we wake up, that information again came back to the same Chitta. Otherwise, what happens is that today I slept as an engineer. When I wake up tomorrow, I think I'm a doctor. Okay, if such a hand-off mechanism is not there. So this hand-off mechanism is done between Karna Sharira and Sukshma Sharira whenever there's a transition from to and from the deep sleep state. Okay, so that is why we say that we have a deep sleep, even though at the time I did not know anything. I remember that I had a good sleep. And because there is no body identity or anything, Sukhalena Maya, okay, only happiness alone was there. Okay. And this, but what happened is that at the time of sleep, what happened is that my knowledge that I'm happy, I was ignorant. Okay. I became aware of this happiness only after I woke up. Because of this, when I'm sleeping, that, like how we said, like waking state, the Abhimani is called as Stula Sharira Abhimani, Vishwa Ityuchate, like that. So here it's called Prajna. Okay. Now, Prajna is an interesting word. I actually like some North Indians have this name Prajna. Okay. So Prajna means Prakarshena Ajna. Okay. Ajna here it doesn't mean order. Okay. Uh, Jna means knowledge. Ajna means ignorance. Okay. So supremely ignorant is called as Prajna. At the same time, interestingly, supreme knowledge is also called as prajna. Okay, so prajna, how you break it? Okay, so if you come across someone named Prajna, understand that the name is meant saying that okay, they're extremely knowledgeable. Okay, but here in this particular case, Prajna here means mostly ignorant. Okay, so now let us go back to let's so then what happened here? Okay, the how is this uh, uh, yeah, what do you call it? We said that there are three states, right? Sthula Sharira Abhimani Vishwa iti uchyate. Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Taijasa ityuchyate. Karna Sharira Abhimani Prajna ityuchyate. Right? So what happened? Vishwa. Okay. Vishwa so in the waking state, because I'm able to identify with the whole world outside, okay, I'm able to see the whole world, it is Vishwa. But at the same time, I can also be experiencing I remember my sleep state as well as my dream state. So when I'm in a Sthula Sharira Abhimani Vishwa, it is inclusive, whereas it is Visheshena, meaning specially, okay, specifically my exposure, okay, it is speciality of that feature is primarily associated with the waking world. I'm aware of my sleep world as well as a dream world. Whereas in Swapna Avastha, in the dream state, I am not aware of my waking state. I am only aware of dreaming and deep sleep state. Okay. So there it is called Taijasa. Now, in deep sleep state, what happened is that I am not aware of waking state or dreaming state, but only deep sleep state. Okay, so this is what these following lines as Stula Sharira Atma Vichyate, Taijasa Tuchyate, Ragni Tuchyate means. Okay, so this is Sushupti Avastha. So then when we were in course, like a lot of us had a lot of questions as soon as this particular section was done. Pretty much our teacher was, our Swamiji, Swami Advainandaji was mobbed, I would say, right? And people were asking questions. Oh, Swamiji, what about sleepwalking? What about sleep talking? Oh, what about someone who is in coma? Okay. Well, and some of us also saw the movie, what was it, Inception. Okay. So what do you think about this? Oh, I love that, right? So the Swamiji said, if you want to learn more about those, you should go elsewhere. Okay. What Vedanta is trying to say is what you are not. Okay. When we are explaining this avasthatraya, as in like what is waking state, sleep state, and dream state, the purpose is that you are not any of those. Okay. Now, once the Vedanta tells you that you are not that, why do we want to spend time on going on and on about what you are not? Okay, too many details into that. So that's what he said, and then like, okay, so we all backed out. So, uh, so he said like, many of you know the rope and snake example, right? So a rope is what you call like a rope. When it was seen, it's a very popular example. It is all the time. If you are learning Vedanta, you'll come across this example maybe hundreds of times, if not thousands of times, depending on the number of books you read or study, right? So a rope, when maybe like in the evening, like as somewhat like semi-dark, right? Someone can mistake a rope to be a snake, okay, because of bad lighting, etc. Now, when that happens, when this rope is mistaken for a snake, now automatically you start seeing snake's head, snake's tail, snake's fangs, eyes, all of that are automatically done. Now the question is that why is the snake and rope example is given in Vedanta is that rope is, so where is this snake? Okay, snake is on the rope. Is snake different from rope? What is the relationship between snake and rope, and how do we get rid of snake? Okay, so these are the different types of questions that are raised, and you get rid of snake by not beating it up, but bringing in proper light, and when you see it, the snake is gone. Okay, so what Vedanta says is that Brahman alone is truth, and on top of Brahman, okay, this world is superimposed. Now, how you get rid of this world is not because of this way or that way, but by knowledge, just like you take the light. Now, what is the relationship between rope and snake? Rope alone is projected as snake. Okay. That means Brahman alone is projected as this world. Okay. Now, in the absence of rope, there is no snake. In the absence of Brahman, there is no world. So Brahman alone is real. But in proper light, there is no snake, but rope still exists. Okay. In the Jnana state, Brahman exists, the Maya doesn't exist, world doesn't exist. So these are the relationships. So now, once you understand that, okay, this snake is superimposed, then do we care about what is the weight of that snake? What is the length of that snake? What is the color of snake? Is it poisonous or not? What is its antidote, etc.? Do we care? No, 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 no. Once you understand that the snake itself is mithya, just forget about the snake and focus on the qualities of the rope. Okay, so in the same way, we are studying all of this to negate the world around us. Okay? So now we will shift it in, will shift to the Pancha Koshas. Okay, so now, because why are Pancha Koshas? Again, remember like the definition of Atma. Atma said as Stula Sukshma Karana Sharira Vyatiriktvat. We covered that. Then it said Pancha Koshatita Sun. It is other than Pancha Koshas, 5 koshas. Okay. So other than 5 koshas. And then it said Avasthatraya Sakshi. So we saw that Avastha, what are these 3 avasthas? So now we are switching back a little bit to the previous part, Pancha Koshas. So before we get to Pancha Koshas, I want to quickly show you a picture. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. What do you see?
A knife, a sword,
A sword and
sheath.
okay. So this is called sheath. Okay. So this sheath, now the importance of this sword and sheath is that this sheath has taken the shape of the sword. Okay. The sword and sheath are of the same shape, but the sword is protected. In this case, of course, in this case, the sword is covered by sheath. Okay. So have this understanding when we are studying the Pancha Koshas. Okay. So why is it? Because Pancha Koshas. Okay, so like, why don't we just start and then we'll go through this. Okay, does someone else want to repeat after me, please?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. Pancha Kosha ke.
Pancha Kosha ke.
What are the Pancha Koshas? Koshaha. Koshaha, it means it is plural. Okay, so what are the Pancha Koshas? So the answer is Annamaya,
Annamaya,
Pranamaya,
Pranamaya,
Manomaya,
Manomaya,
Vijnanamaya,
Vijnanamaya,
Anandamaya,
Anandamaya,
Cha
Cha,
iti.
Iti.
So Anandamaya cheti. That is what it is basically. Anandamaya plus cha plus iti. So the cha is representing and, iti means these. Okay. So what these are the 5 Panchakoshas. What is this? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So again, when we are studying Panchakoshas, again, because Atma is other than Panchakoshas, the purpose of studying these Panchakoshas is to negate them. So Koshas, we say, so the meaning of Kosha is sheath. Okay, just like just now we saw what a sheath is, right? Like a sword sheath. Okay. So now, just like a sword, when it is covered in a sheath, it is covering the truth and it is veiling my vision. That is number one. Okay, it is veiling my vision. And this kosha, the sheath, has apparently taken the form of sword. And if a young child sees it, he could mistake the sheath for the sword. Okay, so from a spirituality perspective, young minds like ours, okay, we mistake kosha to be the truth. Okay, and this atma, okay, this atma has 5 layers, okay, or 5 koshas. So these are the 5 koshas. So, and what is happening now when my vision is covered from truth? That means what? My mind is taken to the wrong notion. Okay, and okay. So like how the jugglers, etc., the people who do juggling, not jugglers, the magicians, the ones who do trick, right? What do they do? It is a sleight of hand, right? So what they do is that they are doing all this big thing here on your right side, whereas the actual action happens on the left side, and before you see, something disappears or something appears. Okay, so all of that is happening. So what are they doing is that they are moving our attention from reality to something other than reality and making us engaged in other than reality. So in the same way, these Pancha Koshas are leading our vision from what is truth to what is not truth. Okay, that is our. One more thing is that these Pancha Koshas are a different model or a different categorization of the same 3 bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. Okay, so but it is a different model to give a different perspective. Okay, for example, so this Annamaya. Okay, so let me first list what these are before we go in that. Annamaya means the physical body. Why is Annamaya? Will go in 2 minutes from now. Okay, the physical body. Pranamaya means the physiological body. Okay, physiological body is Pranamaya. Manomaya means mental sheath. Vijnanamaya means intellectual sheath. Anandamaya means bliss sheath. Okay, so these are the 5 sheaths. So what happens is that if I say I am tall, what am I identifying with? I'm identifying with my physical sheath, which is Annamaya Kosha. If I say I'm hungry, it's a physiological function, so I'm identifying myself with the Pranamaya Kosha. If I say I'm angry, I'm identifying with my Manomaya Kosha. If I say I'm good at math, then I'm identifying with Vijnanamaya Kosha, intellectual sheath. And if I say I slept like a log and I did not know anything, I'm identifying with my Anandamaya or bliss sheath. So from this, it is clear that Annamaya Kosha corresponds to Sthula Sharira, Anandamaya Kosha corresponds to Karna Sharira, and Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, these 3 correspond to Sukshma Sharira. Okay, so this is the overall big picture. Okay, so now let us say, understand a little bit more now. Okay, so can one of you go off mute and repeat after me? Okay. Annamaya kaha,
अन्नमयकः
annaras, annarasenaiva,
अन्नरसेनैव
bhutva,
भूत्वा
annarasenaiva,
अन्नरसेनैव
vruddhim,
वृद्धिं
prapya,
प्राप्य
Annarupa
अन्नरूप
Prithvivyam
पृथिव्यां
Yad Viliyate
यद्विधीयते
Tad Annamaya Kosha
तत् अन्नमयः कोशः
Sthula Shariram.
स्थूलशरीरम्.
Okay. So it is said Anna. Anna means food. Kosha means sheath. Okay. Maya means modification. So Annamaya Kosha means it is a sheath that is modified with food. Okay. Or food modification sheath, which is Sthula Sharira, the physical body. So this is Anna, right? So Anna Rasa means what? Rasa is essence. Okay. Anna Rasa means essence of food. So what happened is that if you look at the definition, Anna Rasena eva bhutva, with the essence of this food, one is born. What do you mean by one is born with the essence of food? When a mother and a father are born, they don't have ovaries or the semen for reproduction. However, as they are growing, what happened? Because of the food they ate, they have gained strength. And when, as a result of their mating, a child is born. So when the child is born because of the food that his or her parents ate. Okay. The fetus has formed because of the food that mother ate. The birth has happened because of the food the mother ate. So what happened? Anna rasena eva bhutva. Okay. Because of the food, this sthula sharira, this physical body is born. And is that all it is? No. Anna rasena eva vruddhim prapya. Okay. Once it is born, once a baby is born, because of the food that it has taken, okay, even the mother's milk is also food modification of the food that mother has eaten. Okay, so the entire growth of the body, okay, is because of the essence of food. Now, if the growth is because of the food that is eaten, any changes that have happened in the body is also because of the food that it's eaten. And decay, of course, is also because of the food that is eaten. Is that all? Anna Rupa Prithvivyam Yat Viliyate. So what happened is this Anna Rupa Prithvivyam means in the earth, Viliyate means it merges. So that means what? This body eventually perishes and merges into Prithvi, into this earth. Okay. So because essence of the food comes from earth and it goes back into earth. Okay. In fact, it doesn't just go into earth, it goes into all Pancha Bhutas. Why? The air comes. The air in the body merges with the total air. The fire in the body, the warmth in the body merges with the total heat or total fire. Okay. The water in this whole body, again, like, when it is absorbed into earth, from earth, again, it goes into the liquid, turns into liquid, like that, right? So all of them are merged back into those Pancha Bhutas. Okay. So in this way, what happens is that all beings, if you look at as these physical bodies, are born from earth and merging back into the earth. This is our experience. Okay. Tat Annamaya Kosha, this Annamaya, Tat means that. Okay. This or that Annamaya Kosha is the physical body. Sthula Shariram. Okay. So here again, this is straightforward. So then let us go into the next level of thing, right? So now, next is what? Pranamaya Kosha, right? So now the student is asking if anyone else want to go off mute. Okay, Shobhaji. Okay. Pranamaya kaha?
Pranamaya kaha?
Pranadhyaha
Pranadhyaha
panchavayavaha
panchavayavaha
vagat
vagad
indriya
indriya
panchakam
panchakam
pranamaya
pranamaya
koshaha.
koshaha.
So this pranamaya is the power of action in me, meaning like kriya shakti. Okay. So now, what is this pranamaya kosha? Is pranadya panchavayavaha. Pranadya means prana adi yaha. Okay. So that means pranadyaha panchakosha vayavaha means beginning with the name prana, prana adi, prana, etc. There are five vayavaha, five vayus. Okay, so there are five vayus, I mean there are five types of air starting with prana. So now they haven't listed those five are here. Probably because back in those days, when during Shankaracharya's days, those were very clear. But for us, it is not very clear. So we will list them. So we list them as prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Now, when you heard these five names, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, what from a word perspective, like from a simple language perspective, what is the common thing? Na is coming, right? In all of them. So what happened is that the root word, okay, is an. Not anna, but an. An means to breathe or to move. Okay, this is a root word in Sanskritam. So now everything is a prefix to that. Okay, pra, apa, vi, ut, sa, etc. So anything that moves is breathes, or anything that moves is vayu, air. Okay, now praha plus an becomes prana. Okay, now when a pra prefix comes, it becomes prana. So what is it prana does? It is whatever we inhale and exhale, that air is called as prana. Okay, inhalation and exhalation, this is called as prana. And this is also called as mukhya prana, okay, the main one for us, for our body. Because if not, in the absence of this prana, all other four don't exist. Okay. Apana. Up plus apa plus an. Okay, with apa prefix with an becomes apana. Now this apana vayu assists in excretion process to push out stuff from our body. Okay. Again, without pressure, without air pressure, you cannot empty your bowels or air or urination or anything like that. Vyana is again, it is V prefix. V plus ana becomes Vyana. So this Vyana helps with the circulation. Circulation in the body. So that is blood circulation, lymph nodes, and other fluid circulation within the body. All of that is done by Vyana Vayu. Then Udana is, Ut is the prefix. Okay. Ut prefix, what it does is that it is responsible for all reverse functions and processes. Like, so for example, food goes this way, and if food comes this way, then it is Udana. So that means like throwing up, burping, those kind of things are all Udana. Then, if some prefix is there, it becomes Samana. Now, the samana is digestion and assimilation. Like once we eat food, okay, how it is assimilated and digested, that is samana. So these are the five vayus. So obviously, like if the prana is stopped, apana has no value, vyana, udana, samana has no value. That's why we call prana as mukhya prana. Okay. So we listed 5 pranas. So why did we list this 5 pranas? Because for Pranamaya Kosha definition, it said Pranadhyaha Panchavayavaha. Okay. I understood what are these Panchavayavaha now. Vak Adi Indriya Panchakam. Okay. So now Vak Adi means Vak, etc. Meaning beginning with Vak. Okay. This is Sanskritam Vak. Sanskritam Vak is speech. English Vak is walking. Right? Sanskritam Vak. Vak Adi Indriya Panchakam. So beginning with Vak means what? It is referring to Karmendriya. So there is Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha. Vak is speech. Pani is hands, ability to grasp. Pada, legs. Payu, excretion. Upastha, reproduction. Now, these are Vagadi Indriya Panchakam. So, Pranamaya Kosha. This is Pranamaya Kosha. So what it means is, think, if I am hungry, why am I hungry? Because the food that I ate is digested. So the hunger is part of my physiological function. Thirstiness is again part of my physiological function. Breathing is part of my physiological function. Sweating, tired, all of those are part of these physiological functions, along with all the actions we perform. Okay? The speech is also the part of physiological function because without air, I cannot speak. Okay? Because it is the air that is coming from my mouth is what is making different sounds. Okay? Without air, I cannot lift anything. Okay? Like, so for example, simple example is that usually, like when someone lifts any weights, right, there's a inhale and then push it up. But if you want to try, exhale everything, okay, and then try to push up anything, you can't push up. Okay. And similarly, for walking also, without air, you cannot do that. And excretion or reproduction, for all of this, the strength is required, and the strength comes from the pranas. Okay, so this is the Kriya Shakti. That is why it is called as Kriya Shakti. So now, actually, like instead of starting Manomaya Kosha now, let me spend a couple more minutes about the logic of this Pancha Koshas. Okay. Now, when our rishis in the past, when they were meditating upon, like, who am I? Who am I as in, like, what am I? Who am I as, like, who in me is me? The obvious first answer is, I am this physical body. Okay. If there is no physical body, I am not there. Okay. So then it is said that, oh, okay, I am this physical body, hence I am this physical body, this Annamaya Kosha. And they say, no, 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 no. The physical body is there, but when a person is dead, the physical body is there, but person is not there. Right? Because even in a simple linguistically, when we speak also, what do we say? This person, John, okay, we are calling this guy as John, 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 right? And the moment he is dead, when you see his body, what do you say? This is John's body. We don't say this is John anymore. Okay? So that means what happened? This physical body is not me. Okay? So then they started looking at it and they went to a subtler level. And they said, you know what? These pranas are me. Because as long as there's a life, as long as there's a breathing that is going on in this body is alive, otherwise no. Okay. Then they said, you know what, like, okay, this is good. However, pranas, the they are coming from outside and going outside. Okay. Just because I inhaled, like, I don't know, like, like a lot of air, I cannot keep it inside myself. I have to exhale and I have to breathe in again. So these pranas cannot be me. Then they made an observation that, sometimes, I am sitting like this, maybe like, somewhere, and someone walks past me like this, and what happened? I did not notice them. My eyes are functioning, okay, and they are open. Yet I did not notice them because my mind wasn't there. So then the idea is that at a subtler level, my mind is me. That's what, okay? Then they came to a decision that this mind is based upon the thoughts that are coming in. Okay? So the intellect is the one that is directing mind. So I must be that intellect. Then what is this intellect after? It is after gaining happiness. So that bliss sheath must be me. So that's how they have built this pyramid of 5 sheaths. Okay, I mean, like, this is a model, right? And then obviously the real me is beyond all of these sheaths. Okay, so that's the essence. Okay, so now I'll pause here and let us see if there are any questions based on what you heard so far.
I mean, I still wonder about this causal body or the Karana Sharira, right? It says it's, you just kind of explain like different states, how they went through and how they figured out what we are. But,
Mhm.
it says like it's ignorance, like you don't know about, your physical body, your subtle body, which is all thoughts, organs, all that. But then there is this Karana Sharira, which you don't know about. So sometimes I feel like, is it same as death? Because it's, if you don't know about yourself, then it's almost as equal as death, right? It's like a deep sleep state
Mhm.
where you're saying in deep sleep, you don't know what you are, what you did.
Mhm.
So is Karanasiri the same as Atma? Or what? I mean, that's what I'm still not very clear about what Karanasira is. Is what I'm
So
not
Karna
very.
Sharira we call as ignorance because Karna Sharira is essentially made up of all the vasanas from the past along with our punya and papa. Okay. Now these vasanas we don't have exposure to. I mean, like, we don't have a insight into these vasanas. We can guess what kind of vasanas I have.
Mhm.
Okay. I can guess, like, like, I like this certain things, I don't like certain things, etc. But which vasana will come when, I don't know. Okay, because the vasana is the one creates a vritti. Vritti means thought. And which thought comes, I don't know. Okay, so for example, can you, even if you're sitting on your own, okay, without any book or anything like that, can you predict what would be your next thought? We can't. Okay, because we don't know what thoughts we get. And then especially like if you are introspective and looking at the mind, okay, what is going on in my mind, you will be amazed. I never thought that I could think like this. I get these kind of thoughts. Okay. So because we don't know that, okay, we don't have exposure to it. However, this Karna Sharira, because of these vasanas, only this, the Sukshma Sharira and the Sthula Sharira are being made again and again, and we are going through life after life. Okay. So that is why it is called as Karna Sharira, causal body. Now, because the whereas I can differentiate, so for example, physical body, I can differentiate. Okay, this is my thumb, these are my fingers. Okay, this is my palm. All of those I can differentiate.
Mhm.
Okay, at a certain level, at my Sukshma Sharira, to a certain extent, I can differentiate. Differentiate in the sense like I cannot really see my mind or my intellect, but I can say that, hmm, I am
Okay.
happy now. Oh, I'm not too happy right now. So those kind of things I can see, meaning I can perceive.
Mhm.
So, but whereas in the Karma Sharira, I cannot, it is beyond my perception.
Mhm.
Okay. So that is why there everything is merged together. Okay. We don't have any visibility into it. It's kind of like a black box.
So it's same as Atma, or is it like what? Because we don't realize it. Are we
No,
trying to
it is
realize,
not.
or are we go beyond Karana Sharira? What are we
Yeah.
trying to achieve?
We go beyond Karnashara. Our goal is to go beyond Karnashara because this avidya is the one that is veiling between our true nature and me. Okay. So our true nature is Atma. Our true essence is Atma. However, we are identifying with our physical body, our emotions, or our intellect, etc. simply because of the vasanas, the type of vasanas we develop. So what we need to do is that we need to get rid of those vasanas and punya, papa, etc. All of those, not just papas. Punyas also we have to eradicate completely and empty that, and we throw away the black box so that way we can experience our true nature.
Is liberate? I mean, I don't know. Is liberation like while I don't know if you call it a light
Living.
state or whatever. But what I'm
Yeah.
trying to think about is like, is it you're trying to realize something, right? So you're trying to realize beyond that Karana Sharira while you are still alive, or
Yes.
is what it is?
Yes.
What is liberation? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even call it whether you're still alive because
Yes.
you are then associating yourself again with the physical body, right? So
That is correct. Yes. So what happens is that, yeah, Jivan Mukta, the state of Jivan Mukta with respect to others is that, okay, so this person is liberated while being alive. From Jivan Mukta perspective, he is not associated, or he or she is not identified with that physical body anymore, because the Jivahood, the ignorance is gone, that I am separate from, like I am specific to this body. That kind of body attachment is gone.
okay, okay. So all these great sages like Ramana Maharishi and all these people, like they've
Mhm.
seen that or realized that kind of state. Okay, okay. Thank
Yes.
you.
Any other thoughts or questions? Then we'll close. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ